to Satisfactory. I'm so glad you're here. All right, so this episode we're gonna go big. We're gonna create a factory that's gonna produce iron rods, screws, iron plates, reinforced iron plates, and rotors. Now, this is probably going to be a rather big build, and while I'm talking here, I'm just going to start the process of putting together a little pad for our miner. So what I'm going to try to do is cut this up a little bit, pause a little bit more throughout the video to try to keep us closer to a 1 hour video length. You'll let me know if you want to have more cuts, less cuts, if the hour's about the right size, or if it should be longer or shorter. But I'm shooting for an hour. We'll see how that goes, because I am still making it up as we go along. All right. Now we're getting a little bit of a foundation that we can build on. We're building right in the middle of this dune, which is going to provide us with some minor complications, but nothing we can't handle, obviously. I might be in a situation where it just makes sense to build this on the rough a little bit. But we'll see. Okay, so now, here's where it gets interesting. We need enough room for our smelters. As always, this build's going to be an evergreen build that we can use for now up until we reach Mark V belt technology. %-ish. So if we want 26 of these things, we're going to need a lot more foundation than this little part of the dune is going to provide. We'll make that the entrance and kind of the middle corner, but not the corner. Come in at the door, then we'll put in a nice little ladder. Oops. See how tall this is now. Well, we're definitely up there. All right, so we're making 5 different things, which means we probably need 3 levels. 1 for the rods and plates, 1 for the screws. Well, smelters, technically. Rods and plates, 2, screw, 3, and then a level for the final products, which are the reinforced iron plates and the rotors. That's 4, and then a basement, so we need 5. And the basement is just so we can have a place to connect our factory to other factories. So if you assume that every level is what? 3 walls tall? I think we're going to go with the paneled one for this one. definitely more of a hardcore factory vibe. Let's come out here and 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. I'm saying oh boy because this is probably going to be taller than I even planned. And I thought I planned for it to be pretty tall. 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 levels. What did I say? 5? Let's put in 1 more level. Oh man, I do miss having a jetpack. While we were off camera, we've oh my god. Okay. Perhaps I should focus up a little bit here. I'm having too much fun. Good news is this oh, and that does remind me. Oh, look at that. There's a gap there. Oh, goodness. Uno momento. We are right by our hub base, as made evident by our disastrous fall. Let's take these out, because that's going to be a nightmare. What we'll do is we'll just build this straight up. Then we'll come back and put flooring in. Oh, I gotta put my gear on here so I can jump. I guess that's about all I have. Yeah, so off camera we've got the smart splitters. A couple episodes ago we talked about the importance of doing research and doing research early. So we picked up smart splitters. The next early research that we're gonna do is a gaining access to the compacted coal. That's definitely coming at the wise suggestion of one of our viewers. And we can build our trucking network and our coal power plants on the upgraded compacted coal from the start without having to worry about refactoring all that. 1, 2, 3. I mean, this definitely gives us room. Maybe we should just take it. Okay. Trying to be a little bit more aware that I don't have easy access to floating and flying. Oof. All right, so that's if we say 1, 2, 3, 4, then on the top we'll have the smelters. This is a heck of a building. Oh, wow. That deleted a lot more of that ladder than I had planned. Now, theoretically, I should be able to back into this ladder. Okay, great. Now, this is the top. Nice 1 meter. All right, all I'm going to do now, I'm just going to zoop this floor. So I'm going to cut right here. I'm going to zoop the rest of this floor, and then I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I built this little contraption to get the ore up to the top of the building here. I went back and forth on trying to get this to perfectly align, but just couldn't get it to work. And obviously the lift has got maximum length, so we'll tidy that up here in a minute. Like, primarily my thought would be something like, let's see here. Some internal showcase glass, and then right around here we would have walls. And then the rest of it would be glass. Right, this would be a rectangle around this whole little structure here. Just to sort of distract from the idea that there's a oddity there with the build out. I guess now that we're here, let's just finish it off. Oh. Get that there and that there and... We'll just leave one open like that. So now we've got this center tower where all the ore goes straight up. Then we're going to go up to, oh yeah, and I also built a little door here. And then connected the, I would say the whole building, but obviously we're not there yet. But we did connect at least that miner to the building. We'll stop for every level. That's probably about right. All right, and so we have 26 smelters scheduled to be built. Just going to get up here to the top. This is where the ore is coming out. Gotta try to take a look and see where we are here. Let's pull in a lift, turn it. Yeah, this whole construction can be handled by a single Mark V belt, so we're good. We'll come out to where we want our first smelters to start. All right, confirm that ore is making it up to the ceiling or to the roof, and then time to put in smelters. If I put that right there, it's going to be right on the edge. Which might be okay. Just want to make sure they're even. And I suppose I could, we want to merge all of the completed ore down this line. Well, that gives me just enough room to walk. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. All right, and then we want to make iron for each of these. And then we need to get power up here. Getting power up might be interesting. Let's see. Somewhere over there would be a good place to put the power. Let's go up a little further and then connect it here. And then we'll totally cheat. Use clipping to our advantage and have a magic power pole. You can't tell that's got power on it, but it definitely does. It's clipping through itself. And then we'll bring the power into the area. By having 4 connections, it's just enough for connecting to the next power pole. All right, so I need to make 26 of these. I'm going to knock those out, and I'll check in along the way, but I want to knock those out and be right back. I've put down the first 13, but I just wanted to remind everybody that control clicking when you build, especially when you're building in mass and you don't have access to blueprints, holding down control, see how it's like off and you never know where it is, but just hit control. It snaps into place. Just makes everything easier until you run out of rebar, which I could have done off camera, but I decided to try to check in and give you that tip about control clicking when you build. So I'll be right back. All right, I grabbed some iron rods, made my way back. Just gonna go through and build the splitters now. And typically a non-sprint run with blade runners on, and then a light tap back will get you to land on the next splitter, so you can get that built efficiently. And then I'm just going to go through now and connect all the belts. You definitely don't want to watch me connect belts, so I'm going to cut that and be right back. Of course, I'm like halfway done. But I think I'm going to connect both the inputs and the outputs, and then talk about what we've done and the choices that we've made. And we'll move on to building some of the constructors. BRB! I'm in the midst of building the power. I just built all the power poles all the way down. Only have to do it on one side. You can connect 2 machines per power pole. I guess if you wanted to look a little nicer, you could build power poles on each side, and then each machine would get their own power pole. But it's really a design choice for you to make on your own. Obviously, what I'm doing here causes a little bit more wire to be shown. So those that are wire obsessed might consider that more messy. So you would want to do 2 power poles. But the other thing to consider when you're building in bulk is to try to minimize the amount of time you spend switching. Even with the toolbar, going from like a power pole to the cable, to the power pole to the cable, or from the power pole to building switches or mergers. It's just really slows you down. It's just better, easier, simpler, and faster to build all of one thing at a time, then come back and build the rest and keep your overall view of what's going on simplified. Like right now, one thing that people often forget when building in bulk is to set their recipes, and it's much easier to set the recipes before both sides of the machine are clogged up with belts and splitters. Even if you do, feeding resources from below using a personal lift, it's just easier to just walk down, Control C the first one, then Control V the rest of them, and get all of these things set up. Alright. I'm going to finish the merger outputs on these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I believe this is totally done. We've got our smelter set up, ready to go. I think, though, on this one, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to put some containers up here. Now, in a world where you have perfect workflow, you don't need inline storage. Especially the first level storage, because first level storage is kind of bad. It's small, it has one input, it has one output. But as a buffer for when we're actually building, it makes sense to go ahead and collect the iron ingots that we have, so when we go to make further progress, we have everything that we can possibly have. And the other thing I've done is I've just added one more zoop to the length of this building. And that's just because constructors are so much bigger than smelters. It's probably not going to give us a perfect amount of additional space, but it should be fine. But now that I'm saying it out loud, let's make sure. So we're going to go down to the next level here. And we're supposed to do 10 constructors to make plates and 10 constructors to make rod. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 to make plates and 30 to make rods. So this is the level that we're going to make our next level worth of stuff on. Now the question becomes, can we fit it in here? I'm not wholly convinced that we can even fit one constructor in this area. I mean, there's no reason to guess. Let's find out. So if it comes in there, it would need to at least be like here in order to give ourselves some room. I think it's pretty obvious we can fit 10. If we can fit 10, we can fit 15. So what we'll have to do is make this suitable for a side-by-side. So we'll have a single entry point for the ingots, and then we'll break them out side by side, just like we did upstairs, except obviously the constructors are a different size. Let's see here. This is what we've stated as our desired or planned build size. Look at that. There's more iron over there. And I guess we can go one more down just to make sure that we've got plenty of space. I don't like it when my factories... I like the factories to be... close, efficient with space, but I also don't feel like it needs to be claustrophobic with space. So now this will be where we bring down but I think we'll also make this the location that we drop the iron ingots. Try to center this. I'll just put it right in the middle, right? And then we're going to have a split for iron plate and iron rod. So we'll put a splitter on our lift here. And then we'll put... Let's see if we can put the middle splitter right here. Go down the line. I could theoretically come in right away. Like that, and then drop this down. Okay, so that's our basis. We'll run back and then connect the iron. Excuse me. Apologies. We'll run back and connect the iron ingots. Yeah, the iron ingot total is still perfectly fine. So this is still one belt's worth. Well, we can do something simple like pull this straight in. Then on this side, control click to make sure we're on the belt. Quite possibly the hardest part of this game. It's a secret mini game, making sure that your mergers and splitters are actually on the belt. And in order to check our work, we're going to have to make sure, ideally, between these two, we should see pauses as they merge together, as opposed to one side just stopping, which obviously is just going to be one side just stopping. because even though it looks like this is on the belt, it is actually not on the belt. So in order to make sure that it's on the belt next time, we're going to build the merger first. Then connect them afterwards. There we go. There. Alternating inputs to keep a steady flow on the output side. All right. Let me get out of here so I can run without jumping. All right, so now we're going to go back down to the downstairs, and we have 30 constructors that we need to build for iron rods. Somehow I knew that was going to happen. We've got 30 constructors that we need to build for the iron rods. And we're going to do that with a 15 rows. 2 rows of 15 on each side. That's what I want to say. I'll build the first one of those so you can get a sense of it. Then I'll cut and build the rest of it. I'll grab the power from that side and bring it down into here. And then I guess, you know, let's go ahead and let's hope and pray that this is going to fit. It might not. Let's see, that's 4, 5. $11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that extra zoop went a long way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Yep, 15. So I'm going to get the other 15 in place. I'm going to go ahead and split them and merge them and get it all set up. And then I'll be right back. All right, we're back. These rods are being made and each side is merging down into our current storage facility here. So we can have a nice backlog of iron rods. And now, what do we want to do with these iron rods? We know that we have 3 destinations for iron rods. 1, an input for rotors. 1, storage of the iron rods themselves for use in the build gun. And 2, a line of constructors for screws. So at the very least, we know this is where the iron rods come out. We know that we need a splitter here, right? We can split this right back that direction and then connect the splitter. The simplest thing to do would be to shoot the storage rods out this way and down to the basement. Probably will end up doing that. And then we know we have assemblers. We'll probably shoot the assembler rods on this side of the building. So we can just keep doing that. And then we know we need to make a bunch of screws. So let's set that up right here. And for the screws, we need 30 constructors, which is basically the same number of constructors that we just built. So we have the space. Probably don't have the concrete, but we have the space. And now we'll just put in yet another beautiful splitter. Like this. And we'll try to keep this one pretty tight, I suppose. Let's put it right on the first middle that's available to us. What I'll try to do is build one side of this with the resources that we have on hand, and then cut back and do the rest off camera and show the result. I like seeing my quick wire factory in the distance there. It's cool. Let's see here. Try to give us as much room as possible to build these 15 on this side and 15 on the other side. Constructors. And then we know these constructors are going to go one side. It's going to go to assembly for rotors. And that side by itself is going to take a full belt. And then the other side. So basically we're creating over one belt worth of screws because screws are the worst. Screws are what I call bulky on the belt. I'm sure there's a more official term for that, but they are a bulky on the belt item. Oh, that's way too close. I think I normally leave for a little space. Yeah, so it turns 10 rods into 40 screws. Oof. Let's see if we can squeeze out space for 15 of these. That's 3. That's 13. We just ran out of concrete. All right, I'm going to go and grab some additional concrete. come back, fill in the rest of this foundation. We'll probably we'll have to think about how we want to handle, because we do want to store some screws for the build gun, but then we also have 3 different places the screws have to go. But we'll figure that out after I come back with some additional concrete. Be right back. And we're back. All the finer details of the screw factory, or the screw portion of this factory, I should say, have been completed. And I just wanted to share with you this interesting idea that I'm having, that we know that the screws, both, are going to be sent to 3 different places, and about 50% of that is going to be sent to one of those places, right? So it's like 50% of the screw generation is going to go to the assemblers to make rotors, and then a smaller percentage is going to go to the assemblers to make reinforced iron plates, and then even a smaller percentage of that is going to go straight to storage for use in the build gun. Now, what we have to think about is, even at 780 units per minute, we're going to need more than one belt. Okay, so I've split both sides into 2 different, so they can each support each of those additional belts, right? One belt for the rotors, and then one belt for the rotors one belt for the rotors, and then one belt for the reinforced plates and the storage. Okay. If I had access to industrial storage, it'd be a lot easier. But since I don't, we're not going to complain. We're just going to build a little fake industrial storage container with our storage containers. All right, so we'll just pop this in here. Then we'll just connect those. And we'll give ourselves a little bit of space here. And then, fingers crossed the industrial storage container isn't too much taller than this. And then we will connect I suppose, I mean, the only thing I have left to do before we get into the really good stuff is putting together the iron plate. But hey, at least we're storing some screws, so that's always good. Let's go back up to the top here and take a peek. Definitely going to fix that transversal at some point. Right, so half of the... So we've got a splitter right here. We could split that again. So let's see. We've done the miner. We've done the smelters. We've done the constructors for the iron rods. And we've done the screws. So all we have left is the storage of those various items. But we need to construct the iron plate, the reinforced iron plate, and the rotors. So we've got 3 things left to build here. I think I want to take a peek at the factory from the outside, just so we can get a quick sense of where we are. Ow. So we have 3 things left to build, but we also want to leave room for storage. One, two, 3 things left to build, and then storage between here and here. And that should be room enough for storage and transport. Assuming we can get, we might have to make that high level, right? Maybe we'll just make it so it's just above this dune. We'll make this dune our baseline. So let's look at it one more time. We can build the, well, technically, we only need 6 assemblers and 10 constructors to make the iron plates, reinforced iron plates. We could put those on one level and then put the rotors on another level. That would be 2 levels, 1, 2, and that would give us plenty of room to negotiate storage. I think we should do it that way. Kind of liking the way this is looking. Thinking like, I don't want to get too far into the decorative weeds here, but if we aligned it like that, where the windows were not the edge of the building, then we could do something fun. Oh yeah, we definitely need more concrete. Okay, we have all the necessary materials that we need for the buildings, but we're gonna have to run back over and grab some more concrete. I need to get rid of some of this iron. Well, actually, I'll put it in the awesome sink. Yeah, and once we get this factory up and running, we'll then have plenty of materials to upgrade things to Logistics Mark II, which we've been sitting on as an upgrade this entire time. All right, I'm going to pause for one more second here. We're going to cut, and when I come back, I'm going to have the concrete in hand, and then we're going to finish up the iron plates and the reinforced iron plate section of the build. I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. I picked up the necessary supplies, and then I got super distracted. So what I want to do before we start building the plates section of the factory, first I want to build a little transversal. So let's take 5 minutes to build some transversal. So you're going to come down to the end. There's going to be all this stuff down here. Maybe we'll give ourselves a little bit of room. Like that. And then Let's see if we can... Is this the right level? No. Do we need another catwalk? Uh-oh. Wait, what's happening here? We're hitting a halfsies? That can't be right. These catwalks are oh so just a little deceptive, but there we go. And then we'll build out the 3 on this side. I don't think we need the under. Alright, so we can walk up and down at the end here instead of having to only do it over there on that side of the factory. Then I guess we could do a standard, you know, a landing and then go down to the next level. Let's see how far down that actually is. Pulling this over. It's blowing through my resources. Later in the game, it's kind of fun to watch all that stuff fly out when you do a build, but this early in the game, you're kind of thinking, do I have the production to support this? At least I am. That's what I'm thinking. This is an extra long catwalk. Is this a... We have 2 levels here? Did we skip a level? We're on this level. And there's 1 level below that. Oh, the confusion is that we didn't do something up here. So let's see if we can build something. Oh boy. I'm hurting my head trying to figure out how to build this. I want to come down, but no, I want to go up from here. And then, let's see. How do we test to make sure that this is the right height? Connect it right there, let's say. Nope. Like this. Then somewhere in here. Oh! We got it right. So there we go. And now we're back to the top. Beautiful. We've reduced, not eliminated, our likelihoods of dying from falling. Which is always good. It's always a good thing when you can reduce, if not eliminate, damage taken to falling. Maybe we'll cover just that much of it. And then we'll try to leave the rest of this open. Is the goal. Right? But if we're gonna play, it must be supported. We need to support that. Uh-oh. That's a problem. We'd have to, like, make little circle swoops. Maybe. Alright, let's take this one out. And then we'll go straight down to the ground. Okay. So here's where you start. You're at the top. You want to go down a level. Great, you've gone down a level. You want to go down a level again. You come out. And maybe you go around. Now I'm thinking about designing into this. No. We're going to leave it. Try to complicate this anymore, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. And then I think we can connect back like this. Okay. Now that's some good old-fashioned transversal. At the end of the factory, nice little stairs. And then, if I really want to get fancy with it, I could put some Let's see where we are after we get to building this side of things. How big of a hole am I leaving here? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. I'm liking this. Right, so now we've got kind of the eastern side and the western side of the factory built into the hard scrabble rough of the desert itself. And then you know what? If I really want it to be cool, I could put like a ladder here. Just like that. Right, that's kind of a expressway up. Then push comes to shove, we could put a little tiny hyper cannon on here. Oh, that's gonna be fun. And then obviously we could also put some jump pads in place. Presuming that hole is big enough. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4? It might be alright. We'll wait and see. Alright, so I'm just gonna zoop out the rest of the foundation here. Let's see. Something like this. Right? Getting a sense of it. I think it's coming together nicely. I'm going to have to... Well, for those of you that like the zoop, ooh. Speaking of zoop, I almost fell off the building. So that's what I'm looking at. Let's see, how wide is this on this side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the corner. This is the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more would basically make it balanced, as it were. There we go. Then obviously, you know, it is really troubling to me that I can't. How am I supposed to do this? I mean, you can't put up that railing. That's blocking for sure. So you just have to put it up and have it be two sides of it, each side of it empty? Seems weird to me. Right, but that's generally the design we're going for. You just have this railing go all the way down. Sorry, I know I'm taking a mid-build break for aesthetics, but I want you to get a sense of what's in my mind's eye here as I build. So you can run along here, you can see, oh look, we got too many screw lines backed up. And obviously, you know, maybe Maybe we'll break out somewhere in the middle here. Little jump pad port. Something like that. But let me take a cut here. I'm going to go and grab some more plates and some more concrete. And then we'll build out both the plate section and the reinforced iron plate section. I think we can do that in one shot. It's 10 constructors, so 5 constructors, and 6 assemblers, so 3 assemblers. And that'll be an interesting test of how we plan to start moving materials back and forth. But I'll be right back. And we are back. So we are splitting the ingots off here so we can start making some super awesome well, let's see where we want to put these. We want to make 10 iron plate constructors. I think we'll go ahead and just make them. Same build out as we've been doing. Something like, I don't know, this? Maybe there. Ooh, that's a little too tight. Let's back those off. Oh, goodness. I didn't even angle that correctly. Let's try that again. So, constructor out that way. Yeah, we can keep that. That's good. One more click. What is going on here? Oh. I'm all turned around. I'm suddenly having spacing issues here. There we go. So 10 of these will be a nice, easy 5 on each side. No big deal. And then we'll drop 5 on this side. Then we'll split these down the way. See if I can do this fast enough to not require a cut. Sometimes it's easier to go from that side like this. Like that was pretty good actually. Then we've got the iron ore here. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bring it close and then just loop it right in. Sorry to my 90-degree only fans out there. Well, that's an interesting phrasing. Here we go. So that goes straight in. I'm just going to take it for fact that it's working. Then we'll pull the power from that end of that line to the start of this line. Yeah, see, now this is the problem. It's so close, I don't feel comfortable putting power lines in here. But before we do that, let's set you to iron plate. And what we'll do is we'll send all of these. So the only thing that we're using the iron plate for is for the reinforced iron plate. So we'll just send all of them through the reinforced iron plate machines, and then whatever's left we'll keep. All right, those are all set up, ready to go. You know, it reminds me of one of my first builds. Put them on top of the splitters. I'm not suggesting you should do this, but just as a throwback to a previous time in my life, we'll put the power on the splitter. And then we'll just connect and connect. Let's see if we can get a little height. Make this a little easier. Oh man, we can get it nicely angled too. There we go. Alright, that was easy enough. Then we are going to have to merge everything back down. Same thing on this side. And I do recognize that right behind me is a very long drop. So we'll try our best not to wander too far afield here. Need to also pull in these connections. I don't know, maybe I like the splitter. The power on the splitter. I forget that you can do that. So these are touching. I normally don't do that. So I can't see what the belt is doing. So I'm gonna have to rebuild those with some space. Exactly. I think I'm enjoying these more complicated builds, but even with cutting like crazy, I'm still pushing 90 minutes, which means it's probably going to be 2 hours before this is done. That's probably pushing it. But you tell me if 2 hours is too long. And then we'll just merge this into a single line. And then as a convenience to me, I am also going to merge this into a storage container. So I don't know, weird stuff happens. And if it does, we want to make sure that we have plenty of materials to build reinforced plates with. And it gives an opportunity to drop some extra plates or do fun stuff like that. All right, plates are a go. Now we need to put in the 6 assemblers. And honestly, I think that's the end of this floor. Like, that's all we're going to do with this floor is put in 6 assemblers. So let's drop those in. Now, one thing I want to do... So we're going to split these. Start right there. And then we're going to want to bring over. I could bring it under. I think that means I should probably connect this up. And then we can bring in the other material on this low band. And then that means we could use like an underfed solution or something like that. Let's see, the screws are over there. So we could dump them down, come over on the ceiling, shoot across, and then come up. Okay. Let's put in... our spacer. Then we'll put in our production assembler. We want to make 6 of these. Hardest part is getting the first one right. Might not be able to do... Oh, worked perfectly. Beautiful. Now just control click 5 more. 4, 5, and 6. All right, and then do the splitter dance for the rest of these. Let's just line up the bottoms because the top is easy to deal with. The bottom is correct. See, I don't know why you're giving me a green line there, which makes me think this one's wrong, which it is. That one's correct. Let's try that one again. There we go. Uh-oh. I think that one's actually right. Actually, I shouldn't build the belts at all yet. Let's not build the belts. Let's get these splitters going. And then reinforce plate. All right, then we'll belt the bus, I think is the way to go here. I'm gonna have to belt the bus times 2. And then let's hook these up walking backwards. Yeah, I like to do it this way for a reason. The belts look better if they're either changing direction or changing altitude, but when you try to do both in one shot, I think it's not as good, so we'll do that. Ooh, I really didn't give myself any room over here. Well, I guess we're gonna have a building that's not fully 100% balanced. That's okay. I mean, I just can't stand having no walkway. I need to be able to see what's going on with the belt, need to be able to see the speed of the belt. Merge it down this direction. All right. Now we need some power. Nah, that's too high. All right. That's rocking and rolling. Now we just need to get some screws over here. Let's see. If I'm gonna do it this way, I think I need to do it over here and then pull it in using a lift. All right, so now we have one. Let's see here. So one of these lines is going to be... Sorry. One of these lines is going to be the screws for the reinforced plates and storage. So I could just peel half. So we'll just peel half of these. Though... I'm going to give myself a little room just in case something crazy happens when we go to put in the industrial storage container. Can I see over there? Yeah, there's my target. I don't have another floor in between. Okay, so... screws are dropping down, ready to go. We can just see here. We'll give ourselves... I mean, I'm really liking this ceiling conveyor. Definitely makes things like this so much better. That's a good point. The ceiling conveyor automatically adjusts, so I don't even have to specify it. So it's on what appears to be this line. I think I've miscalculated something. Oh, there quite literally is a floor. The next floor down is there. At the risk of saying obvious things. No, wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah. That's a fun problem. You look over here and you say, no, there's no floor between this floor and this floor. But then you have to take into account that this floor actually exists. And therefore, there is a floor in between. Well, we don't want to make this any smaller. Okay, right on the edge. Looks like it's aligned. I guess I could pull straight through, right? Just put a lift right. Oh, sorry about that. We'll put a lift right here. Okay. Now we're very close. I think I can just jump down here, right? We'll connect. Boom. I think that's gonna be cool. It's gonna look cool. Everything about it is gonna be cool. Of course, the fact that it's going at 30 items per minute is probably substantially less cool. But you got to start somewhere. So basically, what I'm saying is that's 3 items done. That's the screws, at least half. I'll have to figure out what's going on with the screws. And the plates, right? Whatever plates don't get used here, don't get peeled off for production, will immediately go into storage at the end of this. And then hopefully we're going to see some screws over here in a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's bad news. Wait, there was a screw there. What's going on here? Oh, I'm trying to do too much. Or no, I'm not trying to do too much. I'm just trying to do it at the wrong angle. Let's change this. And we're not going to trust you because belts into phantom splitters just isn't the deal. Then we'll shoot screws in and they get split up and they get sent down the line. All right. Then over here, stuff gets made and sent down the line as well. Let's dump some screws in here. I know, I'm trying to think. I know. Weird concept. I think I'll just peel it off and call it a day. And then once we get the rotors building, then we'll decide, liking the looks of these, by the way, even if it's only a few. Let's do some manual feeding. All right. So now we have that. Now we need rotors. I could theoretically build the rotors up here. But no, I shouldn't do that. Let's check the rotor recipe. More screws and iron rods. So we got to bring the iron rods and the screws together. I think so. This whole top level up here is iron rods, right? Yeah. We'd had to make a lot of iron rods in order to make the screws. Okay, so that's good. That's working. Happy with that. The iron rods are backtracking this way. Right, and they're dumping out here, and then they're dropping down one level. And then we're using some of the iron rods immediately to make screws. And then we could ship the rest over to this level. Oh boy, ran out of concrete again. I'm going to be right back with some concrete. Okay, we're back. About to start zooping. Our poor little concrete factory didn't have a ton of concrete in it, but I think there's probably just enough to get us through this part of the build. Hopefully. We'll have to see. I think primary concern right now is just making sure that everything comes out on this side of the factory. All right, so we have one oddity that we have this item right here. And given, if I were going to do this again, I might say put this type of lift right in the middle of a foundation. So that way, if you do choose to have sort of these ceremonial little sections, that you could just do it on a 1x1 instead of a 2x1 like I'm going to have to do here. And I suppose I could put a door on it, so when we have to upgrade it, we can just upgrade it. Let's see. What? All we have, though, rebar is done, and the screws are done. So we're basically done. All we have to do is get that stuff over here. I know, I keep calling it rebar. It's iron rod, but iron rods are the ammo for the rebar gun, so I keep calling it the rebar. All right, so yeah, I think we're basically done here. Let's just knock this out. We need 8 assemblers, technically 7.5, but we'll just make 8. Hey, our plan even had 8 in it. I think if we go right here. Whoa, right on the edge. Yeah, but we probably don't need all of that, right? And then while I'm thinking about it, I wonder if there's a place. We probably don't have any extra plates lying around in here. They're all getting used. Well, we can take these. Sorry, I'm gonna rob you. I love seeing my quick wire factory over there. All right, we wanted 8 of these. We should be able to make that work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Okay, and then we're gonna pull in I think we should pull in 1 from one side and 1 from the other side. Like this. And it almost doesn't matter. Let me think about it before I say it. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one is which. Maybe it didn't want to be quite that close. Let's give ourselves a little room. Haha. Alright. That whole thing is too close. This is why you always test your work before you go running off. We gotta give ourselves the 1x1 spacer here. Alright, that's good. Now... Alright. You know what? While we're here, before we get going too far down the road, we're going to make sure that we set these all to rotors while we can move freely. I think that's the same one, but yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Then we'll come back and put in the belts. Bottom. Top. Sorry, this is a lot of swings, I know. Let's see, I could try to cut the swings in half. Let's see. That's actually a little better from this direction somehow. And then we'll put these in. All right, and then we're gonna need to find some power. Why is there something floating there? All right, the original bus. Oh, totally missed. Let's see. I want to try to get a little height on this. Okay, there we go. That first one's a little off, but we're not changing it. All right. Now, we got to pull in iron rods and screws. I think we'll just do the same thing we did last time, except different. So, screws. We are out of metal plates. Wonder if there's any more to be stolen from this side of the world. Well, a few. We're gonna take them. Actually, this is probably not enough. Let me... Oh boy, I'm gonna pause one more time. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna pause again. while I go and grab some plates. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. I am here to try to grab the rods, which are here. And they need to go over... way the heck over here. Something like this, I would say. We'll put it on the edge just so we can have maximum room to walk. And then we'll connect here. You know, I don't know which direction I put that in. Let's build that again. All right, yes, input. Like that. Then we're going to come out of our rebarb split. This will add a little flavor. All right, that's a go. What we'll do... Right, that output is there. Well, yeah, let's grab the screws. At least get them at the right... Oh, they're already on the right level. Stick with your first instinct. So we're going to have to snake our way around. Whoop. We're going to have to snake our way around. This one. So I think outside. What is going on? I'm floating off the edge here. It feels like I shouldn't be doing that though. Oh, there's not enough floor. The floor above me is not the same size as the floor below me. Okay, there we go. Figured it out. Just put this right next to it. Nice little screwy racetrack. And then we've already lined this one up, so we're committed. So it has to be the center of this line. Let's just go. All right, and set ourselves up for the turn right here. And then I guess we should bring it to the edge, right? That. Then we'll drop our other resource straight in. Like that. Can I reach over there and build the other side of these? Come on. Look at that. Cool. I think that means that's set up now. Iron rods coming in on one side and screws coming in on the other side. Not exactly nicely 90-degree angled, but they're still coming in. These are all powered and ready to go. So now there's nothing left but... Oh, I gotta build the outputs over here. I gotta say, when I was building the mega base, right, the mega base had its advantages. Having all that wonderful infrastructure in place, huge. Unmistakably huge. But I think this allows for a lot more creativity. Like once you've made your primary design for your mega base, you're pretty much done. Okay, rotors. Done. So the rotors are done. The iron rods are done. The screws are done. Upstairs, the screws are done. The reinforced plates are done. And the plates are done. So now all that's left is to get all this stuff down to storage. Let's... I'm gonna see if I can build a nice little... Uh-oh. That'll do for now. Well, let's see. Where are these guys coming out? I could bend them. Could bend them to my will. And force them to come out on the corner. And then... I think I want to have one... It needs to be clean. One storage per... So, one storage per item. We'll start there. And then below us, we need to have... I can't combine screws. But do I want 2 storage points for screws? Probably not, but that's what I'm gonna get. Let's sigh. Out of concrete yet again. So these are all done, so no need to put any additional inline storage or anything like that. Just drop these straight in. And then oh boy. Oh wait, that one's gonna need at least one space. Okay. I think if you're going to try to copy this, I would probably say, you know, in a world where you're trying to always get better, it is possible that we've put on a little too big of a show here. Let's see though, we're dropping these down, but we want to make sure that we have a storage area, right? Do we want that storage to be inline? Or do we care? And is this the right level for it? Probably could make it work. We're just gonna have to do a little twist. And I am concerned with this boulder, with this wonderful slug inside, yellow as it may be. Maybe we should go up and over and then make this our base height. We might have to go up ×2. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I'm gonna run back and grab a little bit more concrete and see if we can finish this thing up. Be right back. And we're back. Unfortunately, my starter concrete factory is struggling to keep up. I think if I were to do this again, I would probably force upgrade Logistics Mark II and double back and immediately start building out some upgraded concrete factory belts, because man oh man, I am not having enough concrete. Of course, once we have all this good stuff set up, we'll be in a place to do just that. So it's not too far away, but look at that, I ran out again. which means I don't think I have enough. What's the conveyor wall gonna cost me? Oh, I have just enough to make the conveyor wall. I think what I want to do is kind of pull these down lightly. Right, not all the way down, but kind of like that. I would think there'd be stuff there. That's worrisome. Actually, this might be too far down. Let me, just for measuring sake. Hey, rotors. Let's put in organizational storage. Okay. And then we'll connect you like that. Yep. Too close. You know what? Let's just keep those up there. Once we get the industrials, it's going to require rebuild, but there we go. And then can we just build these straight up to the ceiling? Why aren't I getting a line? All right. And then we'll just rebuild it when we get the industrials. But boy, oh boy, let's see if we can... Oh, he might not... Oh, ooh. Oh, this whole thing is broken. That's why I wasn't getting a line, because I wasn't in alignment. Let's see if I can do this. Well, normally I have it touching, so it's easier to grab it from the outside. Okay, right there. That looks correct. And it is wrong. Let's see. Try that one more time. There we go. We'll get into the red and then back it off one click. All right, there we go. Let's see how that looks now. Holy moly. All right. You're going to give me a pause while I figure this out. One moment. Okay. I found some concrete so I could build a little ledge here, and then we can just build this like a normal person and have it work. And then build our little presentation. Of course, we're still out of concrete. And the great concrete shortage of 2023. Really hurting my productivity here. But by getting this factory up and running, is that connected? It's acting weird. It's acting really weird. I don't think that's right. By getting this factory connected and generating some reinforced plates, we'll be in a position to dramatically increase our efficiency. I know how I normally do this, which is go to the yellow, one down, connect. Try that again. Oh, how is this one directionally wrong? This one's totally wrong. It wants to send stuff up. Yeah, I'm not even allowed to reverse it. Oh, let's see how many of those we did wrong. At least 2. Alright, so these last 3 are totally wrong. I think I need to go all the way to the top. Well, these don't have any tops on them, so top's not the problem. Must be the transitionary pieces that I built. Let's do this from the top to the bottom. Just so we know it's correct. Oh, what a shame. So close. Those last 3 resources are in place. Now there should be no question. Okay. We're slowly getting materials now. But we're getting the materials, and that's really all that matters. Now we are ending up with a couple of screws, but I think that's okay. We are going to need lots of screws, or we're going to need 0 screws. That's really your only option. Lots of screws or 0 screws. Decent amount of reinforced plates flowing in. I'll probably go back and upgrade the reinforced plate production so I can get more reinforced plates, and then go back and upgrade the concrete, and then everything else comes after that. So we are functionally done. Now it's a matter of just squaring off the building and getting the outside souped up. I think I'm going to do most of that off camera for our... This will be our last pause. But we're more or less done already. just a question of, do I want a door on this side too? Yeah, why not? Oh, because I don't have the concrete to support it. That's probably why. Let's look for a wall, a door, and then zoop. We'll just zoop you right up there. Like that. And then maybe the same here. Then it's just going to be a matter of squaring it off, because this is pretty much a square building. There's this little extra escape hatch here, because this floor is not as wide as these other floors. I might leave that as an escape hatch just to get out of the building a little quicker. And then we'll always have to come back and add some advanced conveyance. All right. One more pause. I'm going to pause. I'm going to put together all the outside decorations. Then I'm going to come back and show you the final result. And then we'll call it. Hey, just a quick check-in. Just wanted to say that we got together enough reinforced plates to go ahead and make a shipment. So we're just going to ship it. Get Logistics Mark II.
Improved versions of conveyor belts and conveyor lifts are now accessible. To encourage additional verticality, conveyor poles now have a stackable variant.
Thanks, Ada. All right. We'll be back once we're done building out the outer shell of the factory, and then we'll call it. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, congratulations, because we are finally done. I think I want to grab just a little bit more iron rod, just in case if we're walking around we find a place that needs a little railing, we can put that in. There it is. Reinforced plate and rotors. I gotta tell you, this took... Oh, I had to add a little corner piece there. I guess I don't really need it. I just use a little wall there. So here's where all the good stuff comes out. Once we get signs, we'll put signage up on this. And of course, we ended up making a lot of screws. I actually have a little iron rod right there. So yeah, that's where everything comes out, right? If you look in there, you can see the lifts bringing it down. And then if you enter the original door, this almost came out the way I wanted it. I'm kind of happy with it being indoor outdoor, but I think I envision this being a lot more cluttered in the middle, you know, more stuff zipping back and forth. And maybe if I were to build like a mega factory in this setup, probably could get there. But in this way, it's just a matter of having a few things connected. So we added a couple of catwalks to make transversal a little easier. And yeah, let's go to the top here. So right over there, we've got all of our smelters smelting up all the iron, which is of course the basis for everything in this. And that's the interesting part, is that we're not combining different elements yet. We are reworking the single iron element into 5 different products. So the iron comes in, goes down to the lower level, gets split. Half of it goes into making rods, right? And then half of it goes over to make plates. The rod side, once those are completed, come down into the screw section. And then the various screws get sent over to the reinforced plates and the rotors section of the factory. Right, so half the rods, most of the rods go into making screws. Right, so the rods come down here, they get split off and then sent over to the rotor section. Then the rest of the rods come in here and get turned into screws. Once we get everything sped up and all the various belts in place, like we really need to get to level 5 belts to get full throughput on this thing. But it's definitely given us all the parts that we talked about right now. And in this area, I don't know, I thought I was going to make more use of this. I've got a lot of empty space in here. I theoretically could probably build a whole nother factory. I kind of like the idea of having a little barrel nut bush right here. Right? And then just occasionally, it'll create barrel nuts. And it's open to the air, so it's even getting sun. Actually, I kind of like that shot. So that's it. That was a mega build. It took me a very long time to build it. But it was a lot of fun. I still enjoy these bigger builds. And my hope is that you're getting some ideas for your own constructions. But as usual, I tend to overbuild. And I really overbuilt it. I really overbuilt this time. There's a lot going on here. So this is way bigger than it needed to be, but we'll still have the ability to come back and, you know, drop in some upgrades. I think we can upgrade these. And I've already upgraded the concrete factory. So we're making a little bit more concrete. Next episode, I think it's time for us to maximize our biomass processing. So have a place where we can deal with our leaves, our wood, the mycelia, all the alien body parts, all that stuff in one factory. But that most definitely is a problem for another video. Thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.